I'm going to tell you how to make some, show you how to make some decorations for your nails for Valentine's Day. You're gonna need some red acrylic paint or pink, whichever one you prefer. You can use red or pink acrylic paint, whatever. In fact, I'll put some pink down here, and I'm just gonna cover a regular sheet of paper with these acrylic paints. So I'm gonna put some on the paper. And you're gonna need a brush, a regular brush, and you're gonna just spread it around. You can't paint, if you can't draw, this is gonna be just for you. You're also gonna need a scissors, so you're gonna need a scissors for this, and you gotta let that dry. Okay, so the red one is kind of dry, and I'm just wanna cut them down a little bit. So I'm cutting the red and pink section into 2 strips, so they're dry. And you're gonna need a scissors now. You're probably not good at drawing or whatever, but I'm sure you can cut, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bend your paper and you're gonna make some little hearts. I'm gonna just fold my paper in half. You know how you make a heart, right? You bend it in half, and then you just cut from the bottom and just fold it around until you make a little half a heart. So you're cutting like a half a heart shape out of your paper. See? I cut like a half a heart out of my paper. And now I have my little heart. I'm gonna cut it a little better. So I open it up and poof, I have a little heart. You can make them as small, as big as you want. So I'm just gonna make a couple. I'm going to encase a few. I'm going to show you different techniques, and I'm going to encase a few into the nails, like under the acrylic. So this is your nail right here. And what I'm going to do is now put some of these under the acrylic. You can't draw, that's okay. We can work with that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get some crystal clear acrylic. When I say crystal clear, I mean practically transparent. You're gonna put a little acrylic down on your nail bed, not nail bed, but on your fake nail first. You put a little bit down in a small section, and you just take these up and just stick them down. And it's nice when they're paper because you can just stick them down and they conform nicely to your nails. Just putting on a couple, you could put them in whatever design that you want, any kind of fashion. And then when you've got them kind of dry, you just put some acrylic over them. You're just taking up some acrylic and just patting it over them. I wouldn't drag it too much because the color might come off a little bit if it's not perfectly dry. So I would just pat on the acrylic and not drag it. So pat it on over the designs. So that's one way to make some interesting designs without being able to draw for your nails. Now you can do this with polish too. You can take the nails and cut them out and stick them on with a polish and then polish over them. That's not going to be a problem. You can do it like that. Now let me also show you what else I would do. I have to let this dry a little bit. This is a piece of plastic, and I'm going to show you another way to encase things to put on top of your nails. Now I'm going to take one of these hearts, whether it's the red one or the pink one or whatever, and I'm going to encase them into a thin layer of acrylic to actually protect them. So I'm putting it down and I'm going to rest the heart on top of it. Then I'm going to put on some more of the acrylic on top. I'm not going to drag it too much. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the plastic over on top of it and just lightly press on it so that the heart can sink into the thing and the acrylic can be a little bit thinner. So then you have to let it dry a bit. Now when it's dry, you just peel it off. You just peel it off and it comes off just like this. So you have a nail, a piece of heart that's inside of a piece of acrylic. Now what I like to do is, while it's still kind of wet, I will take my scissors and I will cut the acrylic itself so that I can cut it into maybe another heart shape. So I'm doing this while the acrylic is still kind of wet. I cut it with my scissors. Now I can file it up and everything and make it look decent, you know, so the edges are nice. So it's fully dried and I have a heart. So the acrylic is now encasing this paper heart inside. Now you can paint the front and the back of your heart if you want. It's not a problem. But what I'm gonna do is just take some acrylic and just stick this down somewhere around here. It might look kind of cute. Now before I do that, of course, I would always file the surface of the nail and buff it and all that kind of stuff before I decide that I want to do that. So I'm just going to take some acrylic and I'm going to stick my encased three-dimensional heart onto, I just put some acrylic down and now I'm just going to stick it onto the nail. Now they don't have to be this big, I just made them this big so that you could see what I'm doing. So I'm just sticking them down. Nail art paint from EXO with a glitter silver polish, and I'm just gonna go around the edges of my three-dimensional heart with some of this just to give it a little pop. Okay, now if you can paint and all that kind of stuff, this is what I would do. I have some white and red acrylic paint and I'm just going to do some one stroke stuff on this nail too. I would just go around all the hearts with some little waves and stuff. Make it look kind of festive. I just give them a little flair. Okay, so I'm going to take some white nail art polish and just going to make some designs, you know. I could take my dotting tool and then drop some dots on it. I'll probably take some more of that EXO and just do some little lines. I'm not really doing this part of the tutorial for you, but I'm just trying to show you that it can look kind of cool if you add other things. I mean, if you're a professional, you can add all the other things that you want to add to spruce up the nail, make it look kind of cool, make your clients a little bit happy. And you let that dry, you top coat it, and